Well, hello, everybody. Ooh, let me get everything set up. This is cute. Sorry, I'm playing with the hearts to the side. I think they're cute. Okay. Let me see what stencils I have over here. I think I left the one stencil I wanted to use upstairs because that's how I roll. Oh, well. So I love sunflowers. Let me get my handy dandy mat before I make a mess. Because we know how much I love making messes. Okay. So let's see here. Hey, Dawn, how are you? Thank you for the hearts. I actually think those little hearts are cute, the new ones over there in the corner. Definitely different. Are you having a good week? I actually had to go to the eye doctor today and have my eyes dilated and all that happy crap. So, if you hadn't noticed, anybody that watched my video with me and my husband doing the food thing, um, I had makeup sponges in my glasses. I was on last Wednesday. I had been away because I had some medical things and appointments and stuff to catch up with. But it was funny because my glasses are now fixed. Look how nice they look. No more sponges. I got new ones coming in because my eyesight has changed. So it's gotten worse. Of course, what I said, when you hit 50, your check engine light comes on and it never goes off. That's what happens to me, anyways. So I had to get a new prescription, so I had to order new glasses today. So there's that. I'm gonna put this over here. But it's funny because when I did the food video, I think it was Sandy. She goes, "Oh my gosh, she saw the sponges in my glasses." I used makeup sponges. I had a blister on my nose, and my husband told me, "Why don't you break your makeup sponges in half and stick them up in there?" So I did. I looked goofy going out in public, but it is what it is. When you got to protect your nose. Hey, Tiff. So my new glasses are really cool looking, so I'm excited. And there's that naughty CDC. And the Bud Files. Hey, Bud. And there's that rotten sassy Sandy. There's a sassy Sandy. Sassy pants Sandy. If anybody wants to come up, you are more than welcome. Since people seem to be scared to come up on my panel for some reason. I don't know. I think I scare people. Let me see if I can get the link. So if anybody wants to come up and chat with me while I'm crafting, you are more than welcome. I try to get a panel going, but I think I intimidate people. Ooh, I must be really spooky. There's the link. If you want to come up and join me, your discretion. I forgot to bring my leaf stencil down here. Darn it. I'm always forgetting something. But it's funny because my husband will say, well, write a note to yourself. Well, what if you lose the note? Because I do that too. Oh, it's too funny. Okay. So let's see. How do I want to proceed to do this? Oh, where's all my stencils? See what happens when I clean, Sandy. I clean and I can't find anything. That's what happens to me. Ugh. Let me see here. I don't know what I did with my stencils. This is why I don't like to clean, because when I clean, I'm lost. Oh, here's some. Let's see if there's any leaves in these. Do you guys go through that? Do you clean and then you're like, where did it go? I do it all the time. It is hot. I don't know about where you all live. It is hot and sticky here today. I'm sure it's probably hot in other parts of the country, but I think it's hot and sticky. And I probably don't have one leaf. Ugh. My leaves are upstairs. Darn it. Ugh. Well, poo. Let's see here. No, it's not there, and it's not there, and it's not there. Where's my other set? I don't know. One of these days I'll be read up enough where I can find my stuff. Okay, so what else can we use? 98. Ugh. I guess this could be cute. It's really not what I want to use, though. Well, I guess this could work. Here, sometimes you got to improvise. Yeah, I think I'll have to use that one. We'll try it. Since it looks like an outside pinwheel. Why not? Okay. So let's see. We'll play with white. Get this white because it shows up really well. Okay. I think I'm going to use a paintbrush though. I tend to do better with paintbrushes than the sponges. So let's see. Put you over here. Put some paint. Come on. Squitch, squitch, squitch. That's my phone. Beep, beep, beep. 102. Oh my, Tiff. You know, I keep seeing people with animals outside. They need a barn that's, I don't care if it's cows or pigs or whatever it is. They need a barn that has air conditioning. So these animals can stay cool. Okay. We'll do the smaller pieces. Yeah, that looks good. Did you all see Freaky Friday? I know it's an older movie, but oh my goodness, is that movie funny? With Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, where they switch places as mother and daughter. I thought that was funny. I like watching the older movies too. It's a little run together, but it's okay. Stay off my arm. Everything's sticking to me today. They're going to look like white blobs. That's all right, though. I think I used too much paint, but it happens. It just means when you're doing art and it does stuff like this that you're supposed to turn into something else. So that's how I look at it. So I'm going to make these circles. It happens. That's one good thing about I love to paint. I think painting is such fun. We're going to end up doing something different than what I planned, but that's okay. Another idea popped to mind. Tina got to say, I always say Tina made me do it. She got to say Tammy made me do it finally. When those Ranger mystery boxes came on sale, I hurried up and messaged her. I promised her I would. Because sometimes you can't catch them. Sometimes they sell out real fast. So I got Tina before they sold out, and she got to buy some too. That's pretty cool. Okay. Gotta wait my stencil up before I make a mess. And then we'll play with this. We're just going to do freehand today since stencils don't like me. Okay. Put this aside for now. And then we're going to go in with what colors do I want to use? Let me think. Maybe like I don't know if I want to use this color or this color. Oh, let's play. I don't want to debate too long. Okay. Brush. This one will work. Just a little bit, not a whole bunch, a little bit. There we go. Going with orange. Read the chat. Aww. Oh, I don't know. Thank you, Tiff. She's sharing you all out. Just the sale coming up. Not a whole lot else. CDC, you're coming to my sale Saturday. I'm having a Christmas in July sale on Saturday. Get another brush here for a second. This one. And then let's see, what do we want to add? Maybe. They look like little pieces of eggs. Come on. Being a bride. This paint pen wants to fight me. Come out. There you go. See if we can get the other side done. Don't know. We're going to turn it upside down. There, that turned out pretty cool. Okay. Put this back. Just spray my fingers with alcohol. Get this off. Because if not, I'll have a mess. I mean, I got a nasty bruise on my leg. I don't know where that came from. Oh, I think that was when I went to bed the other night and I smacked my leg off the footboard. Sometimes it happens. Klutzy, klutzy. I'm going to smell like rubbing alcohol. But it works. It works. Okay. Messy Marvin. Seriously. I don't know how I got tape on that. Ookie then. So we look like we have a bunch of little eggs that are outlined in black. Thank you. Do I want to cut this up and put it on as a whole? So if I do, it's going to be like that. It's going to cover most of the circles I just did anyways. It looks cute though. I like that picture. I don't want to cut it. Love using magazine pictures. So let's do this. We're just a few peek out. My bear's going to be wet for a little bit, but that'll be all right. I'm going to take my glue paintbrush that I have specifically for my glue. And we're going to paint this on. Decoupage. I like the decoupage stuff too. My paintbrush is going to have to be clean soon. I got it all messy and corrody. Need to give it a really good cleaning. So it won't leave chunks. I was bad and I didn't clean it. From last week. Darn it, I'm going to have chunks. So you should always clean your paint stuff when you're done. And I didn't. And it shows. Darn it. See, this is all the glue coming off the brush. I had it soaking in alcohol, but I didn't actually clean it. I should have. I have this soap I got. It's supposed to be immaculate for paintbrushes. And then here's a glue eraser. I need to take this upstairs later. It erases your, like if you have white glue to the side, you take this over it as a crafter and it'll take it off. Because we just make so many mistakes. It's neat, some of the items they have out to clean and do stuff. Because they do have some good stuff out there. My bar of soap I bought to clean my paintbrushes and stuff, it's never been open. I got it sitting by the sink though. So I'm going to have to clean them really good. I bought it off of your crafting source. They swear by this soap. It's really cool for crafters. Yep, they're nice. They're really nice. You mean the bars of soap, Sandy? I only got one so far. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get my white glue paintbrush I was using. I do that when somebody does mixed media too. I'm like, don't cover that. No. Well, I got to dry this a little bit first. Because if I don't, I'm going to have a sticky mess. Let's see if it's dry enough. I can still see somewhat, but we'll see what we can do. This is why it's hard to do shorts as a crafter, because it's like impossible. For the kind of crafts I do, because it takes a while. So even though I covered some, we're going to add some on top. Right here. Kind of want to leave the flowers and leaves alone. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Hey, Chris. I know. I've been a busy lady. Doctor's appointments and all that happy stuff. Thank you. So, how are you and your girlfriend doing? You seem to be doing really well on those steady dates. I'm impressed. And I didn't get the whole story, Chris. Not to bring up something sad. What happened with the dogs? I seen where one dog attacked the other, killed the dog. Were they grown up together? Sometimes I think it's sad when certain people go through animal crises, because I think animals can go into like a senility stage like people can. We had a guy that used to have a German Shepherd, and he was an awesome dog. He raised him from a pup. And I don't know, just one day out of the blue, a lot of people can say, oh, that's the way a dog's raised. I don't always believe that. I believe, yeah, there is some cruelty out there, don't get me wrong. But his dog was raised good and he was never abused. And I had an uncle with a German Shepherd the same way. And it was really sad because just one day they just started attacking people for no reason. And sometimes I wonder, when dogs get old, if they don't go through the same thing people do and get mean. Because, I've worked in nursing homes. Believe me, some of them people can kick, bite, and whatever. But I just remember as a kid, every summer we would go stay with my one uncle. And I knew that dog from the time he was, when I was growing up. And then one day I reached down to pet him and I went, nice puppy. And all of a sudden his mouth was over my face. I have a scar in my eyebrows and my chin where his teeth went in, but he never chomped. So I told my uncle, they come running out when they heard me scream. And they were like, "What did you do to him?" I said, "I petted him." I have always loved animals. So I had to go for tetanus shots and all that stuff. Oh my God, it was a freaking nightmare. I screamed the whole way. I hated shots. Well, my uncle didn't put his dog down because he raised him from a pup. They must have assumed I did something, or because this was his first attack, which was really sad. But how the story went was after it happened to me, like so period of a long later, this kid was just riding on a bike down the road delivering newspapers. Back then, we used to throw them on people's doorsteps. And his dog literally ran out of the yard, pulled the kid off the bike, and basically ripped his ear half off. So he got more aggressive. So then my uncle had to put him down. He didn't have a choice. I don't know if he ever got sued. I don't know what happened to the story because I was a kid when it happened. But if he would have took care of the dog when he attacked me, that attack wouldn't have happened. But it's just sad because, like I said, I think his dog got old and just went through grump stages like people do. And I felt bad that he had to put his dog down, but sometimes it happens and it's really sad. But you don't put people down for kicking and biting. You know what I'm saying? But then what kind of a life would it be? Because he would have had to lock him up. Oh, that's sad. Oh my God, Metro, that's terrible. I'm so sorry you had to see all that. That's awful. That had to break your heart. Had they ever been around each other before, Metro, or was that the first time when the attack happened? That's so sad. I know some of them small dogs. I don't know. I actually never cared for the Chihuahua breed. Oh my God, I called them ankle biters. Some of them Chihuahuas are aggressive until my daughter got one. And then I thought he was cute as a button, but he knew us. Oh, that's so sad. That's terrible, Metro. Yeah, that I think it's great that if people own more than one dog, Chris, that some of the animal shelters now will let you take your dog to meet the other dogs before you bring them home. But yeah, it can happen. I had a friend that raised two puppies together and they ended up fighting and it was horrible. You just never know when it's going to happen. Sad. But yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, Metro, because I know what it's like to lose fur babies, and oh, it's horrible because you miss them so much. But I was wondering, like I caught bits and pieces of the story, and me and my husband were in a rush that day, running around, and I'm like, what the heck? Because I was trying to talk to you on Facebook. Sometimes I'm on Facebook when we're driving around, and it was like, what the heck? I was like, oh my God, because I caught pieces of it, but I wasn't sure if they were raised together and it happened or if it was the first time they met and it happened. But that is so awful. And then too, dogs sometimes are raised to protect, so they think that's what they're doing, you know. Now we have never really taken Roni out and socialized her enough. But I have a neighbor that lives next door, and it was so funny the other day because I can't control her unless I have her how could I say, my dog walks me. When she's got her collar on and she sees something, she's hard to control, so we have to have a harness on her at times. Well, usually I'm in my backyard and we don't really run into anybody, but this one day his dog came running out of the yard over into mine. I thought, oh crap, what's going to happen? But Rooney was good. I mean, they just kind of sniffed each other, and then the other one come running over and did a hurdle over my dog. My dog's looking at these dogs like, what the heck? But her hair goes up like she's gonna bite you when she sees you, Roni. But it's just her breed. But she don't. Once she sniffs you, she'll lick your hand. But at first she comes off as aggressive because she has Staffordshire Bull Terrier. They say a law. It's a line of the pit bull, but I don't know. I just know she's a staffy and part lab. She's a mixture, and she is very, very loyal. Like if I go to smack my husband with a pillow, she tries to attack the pillow. She is very protective of us. She does the same thing in return. We can't pillow fight in front of her because if we did, we would have feathers all over our living room. But she will. She'll bite the pillows. It's funny. That's sad. But yeah, I agree. I love my dogs, all the dogs I've ever had. But do I totally trust that a dog can't change? No. I think any dog can turn aggressive if they want to, no matter how they're raised or not. Um, we had part husky, part Labradors that were raised fantastically, and all my dogs were pretty good. But one time, my daughter had a birthday party, and she invited this one kid, and I don't know what it was, but my Labrador Samantha, something about him she just did not like, and she lunged to try to bite him. Of course, I had her tied up outside for the day, but she couldn't reach him. But I think if she could have, I don't know what she would have done to him. Sam was never aggressive towards anybody. She picked up something off of him. It was weird because I have never seen her act like that. So I'm just the type of person that we did not put her down because it was the first time she ever did. She was contained. But I am the type of person that if my dog would attack much I love him, I would. I couldn't deal with that. Somebody getting hurt. But yeah, she never did it again. But then it makes you wonder, like, what kind of persona was she picking up? What is it that a dog senses that they would do that? Out of everybody, it was just that one kid. And it was like, what? And I was outside when it happened. Usually when the owner's around, a dog won't do that. But I don't know what it was about that kid she didn't like, but boy, she did not like him. So, but she died on her, of old age on her own later, but I never seen her do it again. It was so weird. So I don't know what goes through dogs sometimes, Metro. I really don't. And then I had a friend whose dog, she was just mean. I mean, I don't know. She was fine until she had puppies. And then, I mean, not to gross anybody out or hurt anybody if you can't handle sick animal stories, but she had a bed made for her in the closet and everything for her to have the puppies, Metro. And she started eating them as they were coming out. The mom was eating the babies. It was like, what the hell? So she was trying to save as many as she could. It was horrible. But she ended up not keeping the mother. I have never in my life seen an animal do that to me, but it does happen. But it makes you wonder why. Why are some animals so aggressive? But I was like, ooh, I couldn't have handled that either. Yeah, but that's what happened. You know, my uncle had to put his dog down, and it was really hard for him because he raised him as a puppy and he loved him so much, but he couldn't tolerate being a second time because, like I said, if they'd have put him down when it happened to me, that second kid wouldn't have happened. And I don't know if he got sued over that or not. I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, that's terrible. I wouldn't give my animal a second chance to attack a kid. I couldn't do it. I don't know. There's so many scenarios out there, and it's so hard when you have to put your fur babies down. You know, really is. It can be a very tough decision for some people. That's like they had a show on Dr. Phil one time, and it was the saddest I ever saw. Where this guy had these dogs his whole life. He raised them as puppies, and they were his family. And he got married and decided to, settle down and have kids. And for some reason, his dog tried to attack his son. And he was literally, I mean, I felt sorry for the man too, listening to both sides of the story. I mean, his wife was get rid of the dogs, get rid of the dogs, but the man was so heartbroken. I mean, his story did it made me cry. I was sitting there watching, this is terrible because he's like, these dogs were my life before my wife and son came into my life. They were my kids. And he says, and my wife keeps saying that I love the dogs more than my son, but I don't. I love my son, but I don't want to lose my dogs either. He says, I just don't understand why I can't have both. But I don't want my son to get hurt by my dogs. It was horrible. It was excruciatingly. You could see the pain in his face. So he decided what he decided to do with his, because he couldn't put him down and his wife was mad at him, which I understand as a mother, but I also understand the man's pain too. So he decided to take and keep his dogs and not put them down and separate them because it could be a form of jealousy, being that they had all the attention from him. And then also his son came into it. So he decided to keep his dogs away from his son. But he couldn't put him down. He couldn't kill him. And he says, I just hope that my wife understands. I don't know. That to me it's heart-wrenching. It's very heart-wrenching to have to make that choice. I mean, people could sit there all they want and say, oh, hands down, my kid would come first, but I disagree. I would have a hard time too, especially with Roni. Like I said, if she attacked somebody and then, I don't know. I would hate to think that I'd be one of them people that, would keep a dog for tearing into a kid, but she's not used to being around kids either. She's been around my grandkids, and I'm leery, and I watch her because Roni, when you think about it, she's around me and my husband, and we're slower. When my grandkids come here, they're faster, and she's not used to the romping and the running around with the kids. So you know what she does? She leaves the room and she goes hide in our bedroom when she can't handle the kids anymore, which I am proud of her for doing that. You know what I mean? She's never tried to attack them, but would I fully trust her alone with them? Probably not. And I think it has nothing to do. It's nothing to do with me not loving my dog, but it has everything to do with me being bit by a dog before. I think I will always be leery because I know that my uncle raised his dog with a lot of love and he still turned out that way when he attacked me. And it's not like the dog didn't know me because they say dogs never forget scents. And I was around him every summer. And it's funny because he turns around and even the vet, she bent over to do something one day. It was one of the helpers at the vet office, and she says her face was right in front of Roni's mouth. And she looked at Roni and said, only because it's you, Roni, because of her breed. She's only because it's you, because she trusts her. And it's not that I don't trust my dog. It's just I'm leery because of being attacked before. That's how I am though, Metro. I'm very leery. I don't know what she'd be like if she got older, you know? Nothing's ever guaranteed. Heck, I could come on and bite people. When people go senile, you never know what's expected. I remember this old lady I used to take care of in the nursing home. I worked as a dietitian and I used to do up, the food trays for people with diabetes and stuff like that. And I used to pass out treats later. And I remember this one lady, I would go into her room sometimes and she would be, "Oh, honey, how are you, sweetheart?" And, really sweet at times. And sometimes you would go in her room and she'd be, "Who are you? I don't know who you are. Get out of my house. I'm calling the cops." You know what I'm saying? So you never know what goes on in a dog's mind when they do stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's sad. Like I said, there was a neighborhood guy when I was growing up as a kid, and he raised his German Shepherd from a pup too. And as he got older, he just got mean for some reason. I mean, he tried to keep him until he died out of natural order, but one day he had his dog tied up, and he was like in a garage with the door like so far up. And no, he wasn't tied up, he was loose in the garage. And he had the door up so far because that's how he would leave his dog sometimes, because he trusted him. Well, one day he got out and he literally went into my brother's yard and he grabbed my niece's shoulder and bit into her shoulder and attacked her for no reason. And the guy had to make a painful choice. He said, I have to put him down because I always said to myself, if he ever attacked a kid, I would put him down. And that's what he did. It's so sad when you have to do that. I know when, a couple of my animals, most of my animals died naturally that I have been raised with, but some of them, I hate when you have to put them down. I felt like such a murderer. And I mean, you got to make the choice when they're old, but it's horrible. I hate making that choice. I had a cat that was going into kidney failure, and I don't want her to suffer, but at the same time, to have to make that choice, I just think it's just sad. I hated to do it. I always pray for God to take them first because I don't want to make that choice. And it sucks when you have to. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. But I do feel for people that go through it. I do. Just like being in the medical field, when you work with do not resuscitatable people, oh, that's hard. It's hard for me to do it. I had a patient like that once, and it was hard not to do CPR. I just find it difficult. Aw. Thank you. Oh, that's sad. You had her for a long time. Yeah, but sometimes we got to make that choice, Metro. We have to. That's sad. I can only imagine how painful it was. I don't either, Metro. I don't, but it happens. We had a beagle a long time ago that was attacked by a German Shepherd up the road, and he was laid open, and he had to wear one of those things around his head. He looked like a satellite dish, and to keep him from biting his stitches. So I know what it's like to have a dog that's attacked by a bigger dog, and it was horrible. Like my dog never bothered anybody. I would go horseback riding. He was right beside me the whole time, our beagle. And it was just this other dog just came out of nowhere and attacked him when he was with my brother. My brother wanted to kill that German Shepherd. That dog was so aggressive. But thank God my dog had 9 lives. Our beagle Barney, he had 9 lives. That poor dog, what he went through. He was awesome. But yeah, I know what it's like when you lose them. What happened to Barney later? This dog was hit by a car. He was torn open by a German Shepherd. He had been through eczema on his back and had to have certain medication. I mean, he went through hell his in his doggy lives. And it was funny because he was never trained to hunt rabbits, but he was comical because my brother, he would cry when my brother would leave him to go hunting. He would lock him in the garage because one time my brother took him hunting and he was trying to train him, and he took the animals that my brother caught hunting. My dog buried him and my brother couldn't find him. But when he would get on a scent of a rabbit, his hair would bush up like a mohawk from his tail to the back of his neck. It was so funny, Chris. But he would run around the yard. He would get on the scent of her because that's what beagles are. They're rabbit dogs. He would get on a scent and run around, but he never caught one. He would try to trail him though, but oh my gosh, he was so funny. And then one day, after all this he went through, he disappeared. We couldn't find him. All winter long, we hollered for him, and we had a really rough winter that winter. It was really cold. We kept hollering for him, and he never came home. So my mom and dad were like, this is the worst. He's gone somewhere, and he's went off to die, or something's happened. So winter was over and spring was coming in. And I remember it was a warm day. My mom and dad looked out the window. My mother started crying. Here he came out from the neighbors under her trailer. She had a bunch of cats, and I think she was throwing food out and stuff like that. I don't know if he was getting a hold of it or not, but here something happened to him. We don't know if he was shot with a pellet gun. Something was happened to his spine. And he literally was coming across the road after winter, dragging his back legs, trying to come home. And my mom about died. All this time he lived to try to come home. It was like one of those stories you see on TV. It was worse than Lassie. And she says they went outside and they started hollering for him because they were afraid he was going to get hit by a car because he had to come across the road to get to the house. And she says he turned around like he was dazed. And then he turned back around, but there was nothing that they could do to fix his back legs because he was totally paralyzed from the waist down. So they had to take him to the vet and put him down. And I was so mad at my mother for never letting me go with him to put him down because he was, even though he was kind of like the family dog, he was always with me all the time. Even though my brother, he played with him sometimes too, but he always was with me. And it was just so sad when we had to put him down. And I told my mother, I said, why can't you let me go with him? She goes, we don't, you're too young. No, I want to go with. I wanted to be with him so bad in the end, but she wouldn't let me. And he was such a good dog. But he was so funny. I used to go catch crayfish. And we had a staircase that went up in the basement, and he would stand like right where, we were eye level, and I had a crayfish. And I'd go, come and get it, Barty. And he'd bark at that thing because all you saw was the little pinchers going at his nose. I never let the animal pinch, but it was just hysterical because he was barking at the pinchers because they were moving back and forth and laugh. He was the cutest dog, but he hated his bath. How you had to give him a bath? We had a baby tub, and we had to literally get a clothesline rope, tie him up to a pillar outside, then get the bathtub. Because God forbid if he saw that tub, Metro, before you had him tied up, he would hide under the basement's lowest step at you. Like, you don't even think you're going to take me to that bathtub. It was so hysterical. But that's how we had to do it. And I kept telling people, don't touch the tub until you have him tied up outside because you'll never get him out there. So we would have to bribe him. We'd have to get treats and stuff. But nope, he wasn't having it. He was like, "Rrr." Oh my gosh, he was a riot. I miss him so much. Once you got him in the tub, though, he loved it. It was just getting him there. Oh my God, he was so funny. I love my little beagle. He was so cute. Boy, he hated bath time. He was the only dog I had that really hated bath time. Then when we had our 6 dogs that were part lab and part husky, now they were fun. I got a baby pool, and we would take them outside and let them lay around in the pool and stuff, and we'd have fun with them. And oh my gosh, we had one. She would literally stick her nose in the tub and blow bubbles in the pool. She would literally blow out, and you would see bubbles. Like, we would laugh. She would have made a perfect circus dog. She was so funny. And then that was Duchess. And then Shadow, we couldn't put her in the pool till last. She was the kid that peed in the pool. Every single time you would get her in that dog pool, she would pee. I'm like, really? You're like that kid that can't hold it to go to the bathroom. She was a riot. I loved all their personas, though. So then after I would be like, Shadow, it's too bad. You got to go last. She loved the water, but she just was she was the pool peer. So I had to wait for her last. Then I have to empty the pool and scour out the pool and then start over again another day. But oh my gosh, she was such a riot. She just couldn't hold it. As soon as she plop in it, lay down, you would see yellow. Like, really? Oh my gosh. But they were fun. They were a lot of fun. And Benji, him and Princess would howl every time the fire alarm would go off. You would, they were so stinking cute. And you could get them started. All you had to do was howl, and they would howl with you. I got pictures of all the animals I've ever had. I loved them all. I had so much fun with all my puppies. But I would have to say the longest animals I have are my cats. To be 21 and 22 years old when they died, that was the longest. Most of the dogs' lifespans were between, like, I would say around like 12 to 16. Somewhere around there. I don't know the oldest dog we had. I think Barney was the one that went through the most. But I'm not sure. I can't remember how old all my dogs were. I'd have to look at I still have all of their information. I kept all their shot records and stuff. But I've been through a lot of animals in my lifetime. But my very first was a cat that I claimed he was a wild cat. I called him Midnight. He was pure black, and he was a tomcat. he showed up at the place we lived outside in our yard one time, and I don't even know if he belonged to anybody, but I adopted him and I kept feeding him and stuff. And then he disappeared one day because he was an outside cat and he was never like in the house type of cat. He wouldn't have been able to stand it. But I don't know. They're cute though. And then the second one, we had a dog named Patches. Well, he was actually my brother's, but he was crazy. He got in with another dog in the neighborhood and tried to tear up furniture and stuff like that, and they terrorized the neighborhood. And I think my dad, I think he got rid of him because he was too wild. I think he tried to adopt him from the pound, and he had like so many days, but then he took him back because he couldn't handle him in the neighborhood. So, because back then they didn't have a leash law, you were allowed to let your animal run around. But my parents never liked having dogs in the house, so our animals stayed outside and just ran the neighborhood. Back in the wild days when you could get away with that. And then they made a leash law, which was crazy. But Roni, we don't even tie her up to run around or nothing. She doesn't know what it's like to be tied up. She's like a total free dog. We take her out and walk her, and she's got a pen outside. We put two pens together that because she's a bigger dog, so we put her out in her pen if she wants a break. She seems to like her pen. We got a tarp over it, and for shade, we got a couple trees out there, but we can't put her out on the hot days. We only put her out when it's cool. And then we try to put water out. We can't put food out for her because it draws rats. So we don't leave her out very long when she does go out. Going through my washi tape. So there's music, leaves. I don't have any Christmas. That's crazy. I have to use something else. I'm working on a project, and I thought I had Christmas washi tape, but I don't. Oh well. I'll have to wing it with something else. This away. A little washi tote of items over here. I'm working on a few projects. I'm trying to get them done. I have projects down here, projects upstairs. I have projects everywhere. This will help. I always make a little stash of, I got to take upstairs stuff. So this has got leaves on it. So I'm going to take and add a piece of washi tape to this mixed media because I think this is pretty. So we'll go back like here. Something different for mixed media, huh? It gives it a cute look. And if that doesn't stick, I can always add glue to it. Looks pretty good. Okay. So we have that. And I don't know if I want to add anything else to this page or not. What you think? Leave it the way it is? I kind of like it the way it is. I like it like that. Yeah, I hope. It's just a tough decision, you know? I'm like tempted to try this. I don't know why, I just am. I'm tempted to try this on this page. Let me see. I am tempted. For some reason. Put this over here. Yeah, I hear you, computer. I know. Let's see what this will turn out to look like. I'm going to use the sponge instead of a paintbrush this time and see what happens. This is my first mixed media book, so I'm experimenting. Okay. Ooh. Kind of gave it a good outline. At least. Something to start with. That's cool looking. I like the pattern. Used a little bit too much black on the top, but oh well. It runs together when it does that. It's like I said, I'm heavy-handed with the paint. I can't help it. Some alcohol on this. It's a little messy, but it cleans up pretty good. Just make sure I don't get it on everything else, because I'm a messy crafter too. I don't care if it's on my hands. I just only get it on other stuff I have laying around. So that was pretty cool. We could enhance this. It's supposed to be like this. Come on. Now you're going to be a pain. Yeah, you can fall if you want to. Stencil doesn't want to stay up. You do not want to make a mess. Okay. All over my outside of my book anyways. Hey, Ty! Sorry, I did not see you come in. I know, Indy. I haven't seen Indy on your videos. Jumping up on you in a while. She's a pretty dog, too. Our puppy, she's so good. I love our Roni. She's a good puppy. My husband's off on a week vacation, so she's on top of him, Ty. I'm getting a break. All right. She's got her dog, Indy. Her dog, Indy's cute. It kind of does look like a plate of crackers, don't it? I think it's supposed to be like a flower, though. I'm just trying to fix some of my boo-boos with it. Because I was meshy. I'll have to wait for it to dry to be able to fix the whole thing, though. Right now, I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a touch-up. Because I'm a messy crafter, too. I'm messy with stencils. Getting there. Slowly but surely. Hmm. Got it on my pinky. I don't know why. I always drop my lids. Okay, let me get this done. Hmm. I don't know if this will work or if I'll have to use paint. But let me see. Goodness. It's pretty bad. I have to work on that one spot. At least this one's I can fix. Where I smudged it. There. I'll have to fix that a little better. Ooh. Dill! How's the naughty Dill? Are you being a good boy? Dill man. At least you're leaving that spider alone for now, Dill. You're too funny. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that dry for a minute and I'm gonna have to refix that top. Still can't find my cap I dropped. Wait a minute. I'm gonna stand up and step on it and then break it. That'd be my luck. What the heck did I do with it? Let me set this up here for a minute. Oh. I wonder what dropped that cap. Huh. I don't know where it went. There it is. It's like, what the heck? It's got to be here somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna stretch my legs for a second. Oh, I hate having osteoarthritis. It sucks. My knees hurt. I'm gonna drink water. All right. See if I can fix my mess. Oh, I'm dry this for a few seconds first. Now, how in the heck? Did I get white everywhere? Well, pooey. Okay, let's try this. Might have to use some of my white paint to fix this a little better. Oh, it's because I keep sticking my fingers in it. Well, duh. I'm being messy. As usual. Okay. Yeah, it's safe though. The only thing that really gives me a headache when I sniff it is that acetone and that glue, Fabri-Tac. I get a headache when it's close, but I used to be an airbrush painter and I had to fix the mistakes on like laid up Santa Clauses and stuff. And yeah, used to give me a headache back then too. You know, those blue mold Santa Clauses that light up and that are painted. I used to paint those years ago. We had 40-pound masks that they would lay in, and it would only expose the color you were working on. They used to light up Santa Clauses, the sled, reindeer, fun stuff. It used to be in people's yards and windows. I still have some of the blow molds. We used to take as painters. I worked on the bottom of the line, then worked my way to the top of the line. I was lead painter at one point. But we used to take and change all the specific colors we had to use, but we would change it up just to see what they look like. And I have one upstairs I kept. It was a little snowman. Gloves were supposed to be in the corner. Amy made them blue because I love the color blue. But it turned out really cute. We used to have fun painting. I think that's why I like painting so much. I don't know. I've always liked to paint, though. I remember when I was in kindergarten, I used to take and finger paint all the time. I had a little smock. I remember I used to have. Dill. These paintbrushes are too big. You need to do the one. This one will work. Gotta fix my boo-boos. Just a little bit, Tammy. Quit wasting your paint. Just a tad. You can always add more later. I always use too much. I always put out too much paint. I just want to fix what I messed up. Now watch me as a left-hander stick my hand in it. I'll go to paint. I do this all the time because, you know, sometimes us lefties, we're just backwards. That's okay. It happens. I should be painting right to left instead of left to right. But, yeah, I got to do everything backwards. You know how it goes. on other people's streams too. Hey, Lori. It's good for now. I like it. I like it. I love it. Hey, Ty. Welcome back. Did you feed your puppy? So, between the two sexes of dogs you had, Ty, which one do you think is easier? I've had male dogs and I've had female dogs. I think it depends actually on the dog, though. Because my male dog, Benji, was a good puppy, but I feel like Roni listens better. I feel like the female dogs are easier. She listens better, I think. I don't know, but then again, I think it depends on the breed because I had a friend once that had a Rottie, and oh my goodness, he used to walk them all over the yard. He wouldn't listen. He was stubborn. But then I think full blooded dogs, I don't know, I think they're more hyper than your mutts. I always had mutts and my dogs were calmer. Gonna give Lori a hug. I know one thing. My husband's off for a week. In the first 3 days he's been off, my dog's on top of him. I call her wife number one, Ty. She bosses my hubby. Aw. Yeah, I think so too. I think it depends on the breed too. And what they've been through. Just like when people say about kids, some say it's easier to raise boys than girls. I think it depends on the child too, because my mom always said it was easier to raise me and my sister than it was my brother. She said my brother was her holy terror child. Sometimes I think people say that because girls can get pregnant and boys can't. You know what I mean? Like it's just something they say because of that reason. But hey, takes two to tango. It's my philosophy. I have two daughters, and I can say that one was easier than the other. I think I had one daughter that was easy, and the other one, well, yeah. She was a handful for a while, but she's coming. She's growing up. Sometimes I think it takes some people a little longer to mature than others. There. This looks pretty good. Yeah, I think so too, Ty. I do too. I think I get this touched up enough. Looks pretty good. Okay. Lots of baby wipes. Would be nice to have when you're a crafter is baby wipes. Okay. So put this in here. And what do I want to add? Let me look. So what to play with? Some other stuff too, but I don't know. This is kind of pretty. Should I? Or should some of this stuff? Woo, this stinks. This definitely has a chemical smell. What colors would I use though? I did use this. I don't think I own a lot of this. I think my other stuff is upstairs. Let's see what I have down here. Sure there goes. Well, just fall out the other side. I guess I do have a little bit down here. Ooh, this would be cool to play with. Let me see here. Maybe too much shine. I don't know. Food for thought. Here's that color. It's too dark. That's too light. How about like a color in the middle. We'll have to go with maybe like that and that, and then I need like a why can I never find the colors when I'm looking for them? We know how that goes. I'll have to use probably the paint for that. And I'm just dropping stuff all over the place. Oh, it's my pencil holder that fell. Okay. We can do this. So it would be that in the center. That second, this last, maybe. Do I want that? I know I want that color in the center. I don't know. Let's see. Ooh, more plate time. So we will use this brush. Okay, we're going to go into the center with a patina brass effect paste, which looks like this. This is pretty. I always forget to mention the items I'm using. It's very shiny. It's really pretty color. It looks good. I like it. I like it, like it, like it. So there's the brass. Then I'm going to go in with this color. Now this is Nuvo. And I've never used it before. I'm getting ready to open it. Get this off. Ooh, this is going to be something else to play with. Okay. Let's see what I'm going to use for this one. I'm going to use this rounded. We'll go in with this paintbrush. These are cool. You can get these real reasonable off of Walmart. This is number 4 Zooting Artist Brush. How interesting. Oh, okay. So that's not a liquid. The plot thickens. So then that means we're going to take spot this with glue. Like I said, new item to play with. Wet this just a little bit and dip it. That's how you got to use it. Oh, yeah. Now that's cool. It's like a green glitter. So we get to brush it around. Okay, I'm good. I'm game. I'm even game for it to be a little messy. Can put this over here. This is definitely going to give it a different texture for sure. Ugh, just a little too much paste here. Come on. Okay, and I don't care if this crosses over into the black or not because this is glitter. And glitter's going to do what glitter's going to do. So, yeah. I'm not much of a glitter person, but I wanted to play with this. Because I like Nuvo stuff, so fun. Fun. This is fun. Cool, cool, cool. It's going to give it like a gritty, little glittery, gritty pizzazz. Get out of there. You're going to be a different color up there. This is so cool. See, instead of playing with spiders, Dill, play with glitter. That turned out cool looking. I like that. Ew. Okay. Now that we played with Nuvo glitter, now it's time to go in with this paintbrush. This is cool. It's cool, babe. See what happens now. I'm so excited. I get to go to hopefully a cheering event soon. I have one grandson in wrestling, I have another grandson in football, and I have the two twin granddaughters made it into cheering. So I'm hoping to get to go to some events soon. Be a busy granny. Let's see here. Gosh, I wish I could bottle up my granddaughter's energies. Kylie was bouncing around the other day when I went to visit. It's like, oh my gosh, just wish I had a little bit of energy. It's like I say, once you hit 50, your body goes into check engine light comes on and don't go out. It's my philosophy. It's what I tell everybody. But actually, it's funny because I do have a vehicle. The check engine light never goes out, but I think it's funny. It's old. It's an old vehicle. Thanks, Lori. Oh, I do. We went and spent a few hours with him the other day, and it's hysterically funny. The whole time we're over there, I get to hear all the stories about their baby dolls they told on their parents about how naughty they are. Oh my God, my one granddaughter had me rolling. She says, Mom gets paid on Thursday. She says, but she leaves us here to starve. Like they look like they're starving, you know. What it is Jade has food right now in the house that you have to cook. It's easy throw in the microwave or, to go's foods. And oh my gosh, it is a riot. My grandkids are so funny. And I told Jade, she come home from work, I said, are you starving my grandkids? They're over here telling stories on you. And then they go, because Angelo has his own little place down. He's like his rec room downstairs is his room in like their basement, but it's a nice basement. He's got his own bathroom. It's got its own little kitchen area. And I told the girls, I said, well, I'm getting thirsty. I said, I need something to drink. Well, Mom don't even have milk here. It was so funny. And I said, well, doesn't Angelo have anything in his fridge downstairs? They said, he makes us pay for our drinks. Oh my God, I love my grandkids. They are hysterical. All right, Sandy, you're missing my grandkids story, Sandy. But oh my gosh, they're so funny. They're definitely a comical bunch. So then Kylie, she makes me come back in her bedroom and look at all of her baby dolls. And then Layla goes, she steals my dolls, Nana. So then I told Kylie, I said, what would you do? She's so funny. She tells you she's going to grow up to be a mommy and a baby doctor. She's this little yet. And so I told Kylie, I said, what would you do one day if all your baby dolls just jumped up and took off running through the house? She goes, but Nana, I got to tell you something. But Nana gets, I said, no, I asked you a question. And she got to laughing because she didn't want to answer it. So she kept trying to interrupt me. And I said, come on, Kylie. I said, what would you do? I said, how would you control your babies? And she said, I would take all their toys away. Oh gosh, I was dying. I said, right now it's easy to be a mommy of all these babies. I said, because they're all sleeping and they don't move. She was such a riot. They're freaking adorable, though. I love it. And my daughter did something really cute. She likes looking at Pinterest and things like that. She took 2 old sewing machines back in the day, the one folded down into the sewing machine. And of course, they don't work and they couldn't be fixed. So she took the sewing machine out of it and she turned it into discs for the kids because they were the kind she did a really good job. They redid them. I like repurposing furniture sometimes. I repurposed a bookshelf I have in my bedroom. I freaking love that bookshelf because it's blue. But I see it and it's the solid wood kind. It's not the laminated junk you get nowadays. I hate my bookshelves that I have in my bookstore because they're the kind that they're laminated, and when you put so many books, they kind of bow in the center. Talk about cheap bookshelves, let me tell you. So anyways, this is what it turned out to look like. It's got the glitter on the glue. In the middle is that paste. And then the outer is acrylic paint I had bought at Walmart. That acrylic paint is pretty nice. The one from the Dollar Tree is not bad, but the white's not the greatest. But the folk art that you get from Walmart, this is actually a really nice white paint. Gives good coverage. But the one from the Dollar Tree, it kind of is like watered down. So I'm not a big fan of that color. But their yellow is not bad. Just the white's not the greatest. But I think that's pretty. So I'll leave that dry. I might do something around it. I don't know yet. This is the 2 pages for tonight. Got a magazine page that I got to doodle on. Really love fall leaves. I think fall is my favorite season here. Excuse me. So this will dry. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's pretty. The Nuvo drops gave a little bit of a fallout with the glitter. It's not the drops, it's the glitter. But it is pretty. Oh, so let me see here. I don't think I have a clear green spray. I don't know. I wonder if makeup spray would work. You know, that holds your makeup on. I wonder if that would work if you sprayed it over your art to keep it in place. I don't know. But I don't know if this will come off or not. That's the only thing I worry about glitter right now. It's wet. So I'll wait for... Oh, it's stuck to the brass and it ain't coming off. But it is coming off a little bit on the... because it's still wet. We'll see if the glue can retain it or not. I'll wait for it to dry and then maybe brush over it like a decoupage or something to hold it in place. Okay. I remember when I used to bartend, they used to make me do the band signs all the time. I don't know why. I like to play with it, but I wouldn't call myself like a professional. I didn't take classes or anything in art. But yeah, it was fun. So there we go. And then last week's pages. Were these two? I think. Or no. No. I had the circles. I didn't date them. But this, I like these circles. This was last week's. And this is this week's. Mixed media, anything goes. But I do like using comp books, and this is my first mixed media, so I'm pretty happy with it. So, anyways, I'm going to go to, I have a lot to do to prepare for my live sale Saturday yet to do. So, I got a bunch of stuff to do. So, I'm going to be squishing it in a time frame. So, I want to thank everybody for coming. And I hope everybody has sweet dreams tonight. So you all take care and thank you for coming in. Good night, everybody.